I don't know, the ability to compete in such a way that just because we're not KIP or just because we're not SA, ES Prep or something, we still count. I guess what's really interesting is some of the schools that are doing well or were, they missed Index 4 too. So it's like they were pointing, fingers. Them over there. Now them is part of us as well as all of us. Because I was wondering why I see all of them at the meeting. I was like, I wonder what's going on with them. Well, they each had people, and one school one charter district, they're already a district, one of their schools failed every index. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Every index. Yeah. So there's something for all of us to be concerned about. Yeah. And it makes us more friendlier partners. Like when it happened to us last year, it was so funny. We got a call from George Gerger. I heard ATK was closing. I know what Barbara went back and told her people. Then she had to go back and have the same conversation with them when they got theirs. We haven't called her to find out they're closing. Because they might have to close high school. We just didn't, different, like Mr. Martinez got a text from somebody. But now, and they may not share like we share with all our people. They may not share like we share with all our people. They may keep it up here, But they had some issues because their high school was an F last year in the paper. Then all their teachers were calling and saying, we're not an F to Barbara. And they had to kind of figure out what was going on with that. We were actually a D, which is better than the F. Some agency ranked all the schools according to certain things. And they don't look that charters serve a different population. So a lot of charters were Ds and Cs. And they were trying to say all the other schools did better. See, we've never been ranked before. But now that we're in regular accountability, they had all the data to rank us, I guess. And so, completely not apples and apples. But you can't tell them that. So, I guess consolidating makes it apples and apples. That's what's nice about it. It makes it happen. So, I really do. I can't tell you how freeing it is to share and we all have a basic understanding. Because that's kind of what held me back from before. Is, okay, how do I share this without going all the way back and filling in all the pieces? Well, now that we've been talking about this for a while, when there's new pieces, y'all can make connections, right? And that's great feeling. Can't tell you how great and freeing that is. To not be the only holder of the information. It's awesome.
Number 3, public comment. Public's not here. Action items. Number 1, discuss an appropriate action regarding auditor for 2013-2014 school year.
So you guys did approve us to go out for bid. We haven't gotten a bid yet. We've got a reference. And I want at this meeting to, if that reference gives us a bid, to go with them. Basically, we want to leave last year's auditors because of the way they did us. They found new things. After LaRonda cleared up everything they said was an issue last year, she was blindsided by 3 new issues that came out of nowhere because they went searching. And that was we just felt blindsided. When we met with him, he was like, we were just a number. Because he should have asked us, why did we give the scholarship? Not just assume that, well, if anybody from Red McCombs, he's a millionaire. If his daughter asked for a scholarship, you give him one too. Just treated us not becoming our relationship with him. So that was a little unnerving. To where they're going to come from this year. Because she worked her butt off to check everything off that they said was a problem the year before. And they still had 3 findings that had nothing to do with anything they had ever said before. So we thought some of the negativity from the secret emails got to them because of George being involved and things like that. And so that they went checking. Because I asked them one time, what is going on with these questions that y'all never asked us before? Oh, well, we just checking. We just did. Really? Because this had come out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. And I wanted them to say, well, we had got some complaints or concerns, but they never did. But we're just concerned that there's some negative history with them, and we don't like them no more. On the other end, they are $26,000, probably going to go up, and Academy found somebody who do it for $10,000. So that's what I'm bringing before the board. We do not have their RFP yet. I'm definitely going to call them tomorrow. But if we get it, I can tell you their name. So we put their name in the record. If they do agree or someone like them agree to take us for at least 50% of what we paid, it's a savings for us. We get to start afresh. Because like Miss Martinez said, when you guys are here, some of those cancers are gone. We don't expect those cancers. So that's why that's on the agenda. Because y'all approved us to go out, and now I'm coming back saying we couldn't really get any firm bids, but we did get some contacts, and we do have information that we can probably get it for 50% less. And if I give you that name, a name like that, Credible CPS, we can get one, then we can go ahead and move forward with them. That makes sense? Give me a minute to find it. It came from Dr. Nelson, Tanja Nelson. Okay, it's Armstrong, Vaughn and Associates, PC, and we did get a recommendation from the superintendent at the Academy of Careers and Technology Charter School. She is part of our superintendents, because sister superintendents group is 4 of us. She's one of them, and she is very pleased with the fact that they gave us them a bid and it's under what they were paying. So they're going to save money. And she believes they're going to have a better relationship with this auditor from whoever did it for them last year. And these are Cheryl's auditors as well. Cheryl Washington, they're her auditors as well. So I am asking for somebody like them or them to be approved as our auditor as soon as we get a bid that's less than what we paid last year. That is the agenda item. Just going to print it for me as a reminder. I'm sorry?
Are you finished explaining?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor about changing auditor. May I have a motion?
I move that we change auditor. That's what she said? What she said?
Is that what you said? Change auditor?
I said I move it. Second.
It has been moved by Shirley King and seconded by Deborah Adams that we change audits for the next school year. Let's say, all those that agree, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? It has been, the ayes have it, it has been approved that we change the audit for the next school year.
Thank you. Thank you. As I stated earlier, the board dealt with item 2 and 3 on the ACK agenda already.
Yes. Okay, we've done action items 2 and 3 already, so we'll go down to the briefing items.
And you've done those as well.
And we've done these as well. Okay, we go down to the closed section, legal.
We've done those already.
Okay. And other business. I know we talked about it, but setting school board meetings. Meetings for the year.
So one of the reasons that we would like to try and tentatively set them for the year is we realize, like right now, fiscal has to close to get ready for the new year. If they don't, everything's going to kick out, and we're not going to be able to pay bills in September because they weren't able to close out everything correctly in August. So it'll mean a lot of cleanup. So when we talk, the department has fiscal and PEEMS, Bertha and Martinez, they all need to close. I said, let's be proactive. Why don't we close in July? There's nobody around. So it won't impact everybody like it's doing now. And so if the board meetings are out of the way and all of the stuff is done, because board meetings incur costs and things like that, then they can close and not have anything that's expecting anything. And the same with the PEEMS people. At the beginning of the year, we have to go forward without rosters. We have to create them manually because she wasn't been able to close out the year. And so at our last department head meeting, we said, okay, let's get proactive with setting. Let's stop waiting till August where it impacts everybody negatively. And so the question came up then, well, could the board meeting be in July? Then the one you do in Austin, the last one, if you will, for the year. So that all of that is gone too. And so when we close, we have everything, or we know everything at least, that's going to be there. And then obviously we want to approve the budget before July so that we know how many kids and how many staff. So we're being way proactive on the front end rather than the back end.
Approve the budget before July or before August?
Before July 1st. Based on what we do in March.
So what are you saying? Have how many board meetings before July?
Well, it doesn't really matter how many. We're supposed to have 4 in a year. And our year goes from September 1 through August 31st. So with that in mind, we're finishing up last year's board meetings now. It's August. So between September 1, 2014 and August 31st, 2015, can we identify those possible 4, at a minimum, board meeting dates? So then we talked about October, weekends in October. And what our bylaws don't address is when we meet in retreat, planning retreat, board retreat. That's not a board meeting, but it is a meeting of the board. So will that count as one of our 4? And I'm pretty sure the bylaws refer to board meetings as places where actions happen. And obviously at retreats there's no action. So that means having it in San Antonio 4 times a year. So right now we're looking at October, and we look at that weekend. We're looking at the October 25th weekend, which is that Saturday. So it'll be 24th, 25th, 26th. And then the following weekend, if we were to do it that way, we don't have to, will be 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd. And that's our retreat weekend, the last one, because that's the Orlando weekend. And then the weekend right before that, 24th, 25th, 26th, is the weekend we're talking about board meeting. obviously we can have 2 or 3 board meetings, within that time period to get in 4 within a year. We did that one time, if you remember. We opened and closed 2 just to make our 4. So we can do as many as we need right there.
So that's 24.
So that's the one we've been talking about in the car. And that's happening before Thanksgiving, because we don't want to fly after Thanksgiving. We have not been successful in January except when we went there, and now that doesn't count anymore. So we have been successful in March, though. And recently we were successful in June with the graduation. So if we look at October, March, and June, we can look at 3 times of travel and